Clarence Thomas is also black. Clarence Thomas has a story that is vivid and inspiring, just like Obama's story. He overcome obstacles, just like Obama did. I mean, extreme poverty and so forth and so on. Clarence Thomas has served longer than any other member of the United States Supreme Court. His example should be an inspiration to Americans of all races, but especially of Black American youngsters. He happens to be conservative. So fucking what? I was excited by the Obama candidacy. At first, I was skeptical, because after all, he's not black. The man's father is a Kenyan and the man's mother is a white American, and he identifies as black. I find it interesting that the first black president of the United States, and I could have put inverted commas around black, and the first black vice president of the United States, neither of them descend from American slaves. Kamala Harris's father is of African ancestry in part. He's a Jamaican immigrant, and her mother is an Indian immigrant. She was Kamala Harris, raised up largely in Canada, though born in the United States. Barack Obama is, as I've said, of mixed ancestry, and neither of his parents are the descendants of American descendants of African slaves. But blackness is flexible. It's something that you can put on or you can take off to a certain degree for some people, and so be it. I was excited. Our time has come. Hope and change. We are the ones we've been waiting for. These are slogans from 2008. I can't believe I bought that crap.
Oh, interesting. Let me push back here. You talked about to me, a Jew is a Jew. Skin color is skin color.
Yeah.
I mean, Barack Obama is black.
Okay.
When it matters. When you're talking to a white supremacist.
Yeah.
When you're talking to, if you're a slave owner, he's black. Just like you said, when Hitler comes around, a Jew is a Jew. It doesn't matter how you identify. It doesn't matter what. So in that sense, don't you think that Barack Obama is black in the most powerful of ways, which is designating how far the MLK, the Dr. King vision?
Oh, sure. And look, I said it a little bit tongue-in-cheek.
Yes, of course.
But I think Obama has been very careful about manufacturing a kind of public persona that is intended to position him in the most effective way.
You mean like every politician?
Yeah, like every politician, sure. And that the racial identity piece is an aspect of that. I mean, anything I say here would only be speculation because I have no facts about the personal history of Barack Obama. And I accept Barack Hussein Obama, as Hillary Clinton once said, I take him at his word about whatever she was talking about. Well, was he a Christian? I think is what the question was. And, there was some right-wing attack on Obama for, having been raised for some years in the Philippines and all of that. Or Indonesia, I beg your pardon, in Indonesia, and his stepfather and all of that. But she took him at his word, and I take him at his word about his racial identity. No.
But you were captivated by the power of his words, and you regret to the degree you were captivated.
Well, I think in retrospect, that whole campaign looks like a pie in the sky kind of fairy tale. We are the ones we've been waiting for. I can't quote exactly that speech that he gave in Grant Park in Chicago when he was announced as the winner of the election. But today is the day that the rise of the ocean stop, or words to this effect. I mean, those who doubted that we could do it, that tonight is your answer, this was going to be a new day, it was going to be a new regime. Well, it wasn't a new day, and it wasn't a new regime. It was American politics more or less as usual. Barack Obama turns out not to be the Messiah. Maybe there should be no surprise in that. Race relations got set back during Obama's tenure. My beef with Obama is that you're black. You say you're black, you're black. You got elected. Now we have a black president. A black president. You can do stuff that nobody else could do. You're a black president. You could tell the people burning down the city to get their butts back in their houses and to stop it. You know, you could tell the race hustlers, the Al Sharptons of the world, not only has our time come for those who supported my campaign, your time is over for those who want to carry on a advocacy rooted in racial grievance. The election of myself to this highest office proves that the institutions of this state are legitimate and open to all comers. I think Barack Obama, when the SHIT hit the fan, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. I deeply regret that he said that. He's president of the United States. The color of his skin and the color of Trayvon's skin, the correlation between those two things, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. Now, he says, when he said it, he only meant to sympathize with the parents. But in fact, when he said it from the highest office in the land, and then sent his Attorney General Eric Holder out to enforce this narrative, he doubled down on a racial narrative that I think is actually false. I think the story that systemic racism in America, as reflected in policing, that terrorizes Black people because of the color of their skin, is demonstrably false. I think that the central threat to Black lives is violent crime perpetrated largely by Black people against other Black people. I think there is such a thing as police brutality, and I think there are reasons to have regulations of police, but I think it is a second-order issue in terms of the quality of life of African Americans. I think Obama could have told the people who, after Freddie Gray died in police custody in a van in Baltimore and who undertook to burn that city down, to get their asses off the street and go back to their apartments and stop it. I think he could have said, in the aftermath of Michael Brown being shot dead by Darren Wilson in Ferguson, Missouri, and there was a grand jury deliberation that elected not to indict Officer Wilson, and people took the streets in that city and stood on top of vehicles and so forth and so on. He could have told them, we don't mob around courthouses in this country. We respect the rule of law. Get your butts off the streets and back into your apartments. He didn't do that. So
to push back a little bit.
Yeah, good. Push back.
I think you're asking Barack Obama, the first Black president of the United States, to do the thing that I think should be done by the second Black president of the United States. I think his very example, given the color of his skin, was the most powerful thing. And actually doing some of these hard Thomas Sowell type of, Glenn Loury type of strong words about race, it may be too much to ask given the nature of modern day politics. He is a politician.
He is a politician. He needed to get elected. He needed to get reelected.
Yeah.
It was in his second term where most of what I'm talking about happened. So he wasn't facing further election. But Obama was, 46 or 47 when he was inaugurated. He served for 8 years. So he's in his mid-50s. He's got another half century or 40 years of life, God willing. His post-presidency, I think, was what was primarily on his mind. Not getting elected to anything, but being enshrined in a certain way. And the persona that he is now embodying, which depends upon a racial narrative that I and Thomas Sowell and others object to, I think was very much in the forefront of his mind when he made decisions as the chief executive officer of the country that we've all now have to live with.
Yeah, but the fact is, he opened the door in a way that hasn't been done in the history of the United States, that I don't see there being even a significant discussion when an African American, a black man or a black woman runs for president, maybe a black man, let's say, because there still hasn't been a woman president. I just see that broke open the possibility of that. That's not even a discussion. And
Okay.
that example by itself, I mean, to me, the role of the president isn't just policy, it's to inspire. It's to do the
Yeah.
it's to do the Dr. King thing, which is I have a dream. And Barack Obama is an example of somebody that could give one hell of a speech. It got you to
Oh no,
believe.
Obama is a smooth operator without any question. He's a master of his craft. He did the impossible. I mean, he beat Hillary Clinton in that primary fight, and he beat John McCain in that general election. And hats off to him. And moreover, he remains a iconic figure in American culture. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Let me just mention, Clarence Thomas is also black. Clarence Thomas has a story that is vivid and inspiring, just like Obama's story. He overcome obstacles, just like Obama did. I mean, extreme poverty and so forth and so on. Clarence Thomas has served longer than any other member of the United States Supreme Court. He is one of 9 justices, and it's 3 equal branches of government. So Clarence Thomas, by my arithmetic, personifies 1/27th of the American state.
Yeah, that's good.
He is an iconic figure. His example should be an inspiration to Americans of all races, but especially of Black American youngsters. He happens to be conservative. He's very conservative. So fucking what? He too deserves to be in that pantheon. He is not. By the custodians of American education, Clarence Thomas' name is not on that many schools. Barack Obama's name will be on many of them. I'm not equating them. They're different people. The offices are very different. But the same logic that you just used to extol the significance of Barack Obama's ascendancy could and should be applied to Clarence Thomas, in my opinion.